Juventus is not just a football club, it is a grand institution in Italian football. For over a century, the Bianconeri have represented dominance, winning titles and producing legendary players. Juventus have always set the standard in the Serie A. But like every great empire, the old lady has also seen its fair share of crises. The Calciopoli scandal of 2006 was a near-death experience for the club. They were stripped of 2 Serie A titles and relegated to Serie B, a humiliating fall for Italy's biggest club. Fast forward to the 2010s, and the Italian giants had once again conquered Italy. They dominated Serie A, won countless trophies, and came agonizingly close to Champions League glory. By the 2020s, the cracks had begun to show. Financial struggles, poor recruitment, and internal chaos led to a decline that now threatens to erase everything they built. So what exactly went wrong? How did a club that was set up to win league titles year after year manage to go on a downward spiral again? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the fall of the Italian giants over the past decade. To understand Juventus' modern decline, we must go back to their biggest scandal, Calciopoli. In 2006, Italian football was rocked by revelations that several top clubs, including Juventus, had been involved in manipulating referee selections to influence matches. They were demoted to Serie B, something that had never happened to a club of their stature previously. The squad fell apart. Stars like Fabio Cannavaro, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Lilian Thuram left, but a few legends chose to stay. Del Piero, Buffon, Trezeguet and Pavel Nedved refused to abandon the club. They fought through the lower division, helped Juventus win promotion instantly, and started the road to redemption. It was a symbolic moment in the club's history, the one that showed their resilience. We did a deep dive into the inner workings of the Calciopoli scandal. You can watch it here. The post-Calciopoli years were tough. Juventus struggled to re-establish themselves as Italy's top club. Between 2007 and 2011, they went through multiple managers and failed to win a single major trophy. But then, everything changed. In 2011, they opened their brand new home, the Allianz Stadium. This was a game changer. While other Italian clubs played in government-owned stadiums, Juve now had a state-of-the-art facility that generated massive revenue. The same year, they appointed Antonio Conte as manager. Under Conte, Juventus became a machine. His 3-5-2 system turned the team into an unstoppable force. The midfield, featuring Pirlo, Vidal and Marchisio, controlled games with ease. The defense, led by Chiellini, Bonucci and Barzagli, became legendary. Conte won 3 consecutive Serie A titles from 2011 to 2014, going unbeaten in his first season. Juventus had officially returned to the top, but their European struggles somewhat continued. They weren't built to compete with the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. In 2014, Conte left after disagreements with the board. His replacement, Massimiliano Allegri, a move that initially divided fans, but Allegri took Juventus to a further level. While Conte had restored Juventus' dominance in Italy, Allegri's focus was in Europe. In his very first season in 2014-15, they shocked the football world by reaching the Champions League final. They knocked out Real Madrid in the semi-finals, setting up a clash with Barcelona's MSN trio. Juventus fought bravely, but lost 3-1. It was a bitter defeat, but it proved that they could compete with the very best. Allegri's tactical flexibility allowed them to evolve. Paulo Dybala emerged as the new superstar, while signings like Gonzalo Higuain and Miralem Pjanic strengthened the already stacked squad. In 2017, they reached another Champions League final, this time against Real Madrid. Many believed it was finally their time. Juventus had knocked out Barcelona in the quarterfinals and looked stronger than ever, but in the final, they collapsed, losing 4-1. Cristiano Ronaldo tormented them, scoring twice. It was a crushing defeat, the second Champions League final loss in 3 years. They had come so close, but just couldn't get over the final hurdle. Then, in 2018, they made the biggest transfer gamble in their history. In July 2018, Juventus shocked the world by signing Cristiano Ronaldo from Real Madrid for €100 million. It was a statement signing that clearly said that they wanted the Champions League, and they believed Ronaldo was the key. At first, the move seemed promising. Ronaldo delivered in big moments, scoring a stunning hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. But despite his brilliance, Juventus kept falling short in Europe. They spent €100 million on his transfer and committed to paying him €31 million per year. While Ronaldo delivered on the pitch, Juventus couldn't justify the cost without winning the Champions League. They also expected his arrival to boost commercial revenue, but the numbers didn't match their initial projections. The root of the problem was financial mismanagement. The club's financial troubles didn't start with Ronaldo, but his arrival accelerated them. Meanwhile, Juve's wage bill skyrocketed. The squad was filled with players on massive contracts, many of whom weren't performing. Aaron Ramsey earned €7 million per year, but barely played. Adrien Rabiot, another free signing, was on similar wages. Then came the disastrous Pjanic-Arthur swap deal with Barcelona in 2020. It was an accounting trick designed to help both clubs balance their books, but on the pitch, Arthur never settled, and Pjanic barely played for Barcelona. Juve also struggled with player sales. In the past, they had made smart decisions, selling players at peak value, like Pogba to Manchester United for €105 million. But after 2019, they failed to offload unwanted players, leading to an unbalanced squad. The pandemic made things worse. Like all clubs, Juve lost matchday revenue, but their financial problems were already severe. Ronaldo left for Manchester United mainly because Juventus couldn't afford to keep him. After Allegri's departure in 2019, Juventus needed a manager that could take them forward. Instead, they hired Maurizio Sarri, a coach whose style didn't fit the club. The following season, Andrea Pirlo was hired in a shock move, but his inexperience showed and Juventus barely finished in the top 4. The idea was to replicate Pep Guardiola's success at Barcelona, but it backfired. Desperate for stability, they brought back Allegri. But his return didn't solve their problems. Their squad lacked balance, the attack looked uninspired, and the defensive solidity of the past was gone. Allegri's conservative approach, which worked previously, felt outdated. For nearly a decade, Juventus had no real challenges in Italy, but while they declined over the past 5 years, other clubs used this opportunity to rise. Inter Milan's resurgence came in 2021. Antonio Conte led Inter to their first Serie A title in 11 years. The squad, featuring Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez, played with intensity. Then came AC Milan's revival. Milan, after years of mediocrity, finally rebuilt properly. They won the Serie A in 2022 with a young, energetic squad under Stefano Pioli. Napoli's dominance was next in 2023. Under Luciano Spalletti, they played attacking, high-pressing football. Juventus was no longer the best team in Italy. Their rivals had all surpassed them, and for the first time in years, they were struggling to keep up. Another dark chapter came in the form of the capital gains scandal. In 2023, they were accused of inflating transfer fees to make their financial reports look healthier. The result? A 10-point deduction in the Serie A. It also damaged their reputation, just like Calciopoli had done in 2006. Juventus now find themselves in a transitional phase. They aren't financially strong enough to compete with Europe's elite, so they've shifted their approach. Instead of big money signings, they are focusing on young talent. They have also been more careful with their spending. They're targeting players who fit the system rather than big signing names for marketing purposes. Juventus needed a clear identity again, something they lost after 2019. That's where the young Thiago Motta came in. After turning heads with his exploits at Bologna, Juventus came in hot to bring him in. The ex-Inter and PSG player has some revolutionary tactics up his sleeve. We covered his unprecedented 2-7-2 formation not so long ago, which you can watch here. The question is, can Juventus win again? Their history is built on resilience. They recovered from Calciopoli, and they can recover from this. The question is though, how long will it take this time? The Serie A landscape has fundamentally changed. AC Milan, Inter and Napoli are stronger than before. Meanwhile, clubs like Atalanta and Lazio are pushing for Champions League spots too. The competition is fierce. For Juventus to return to the top, they need better squad planning, which means no more panic buys. Focus on long-term strategy. They need an identity, and Motta was the right choice to lead them through this rebuild. Do you think Thiago Motta is the right man to lead the club out of their mediocrity? Let us know your thoughts below.